Are we? No, not yet. Yeah, we are live now, though.
Yay!
We are live now.
Hashtag take two. Take two. You have to do the take two with me. Hashtag take two. That's right.
Yeah. So this is going. It's going to everyone. It's all like your Facebook demos, boxing.
Demos, boxing. Mine going to talking mess. So.
Killer. Awesome.
Oh,
so
great.
Take two with everything. It has been a quick minute since we have done this. Do you remember the last time? I don't remember the last time, but I know it was definitely pre-COVID.
Well, yeah, it was COVID because we were doing it. When we doing it, like when COVID was, so that's like
pretty sure
July, August or something last year.
Something like that. So it has been a quick minute. So what's been new for you within that time from then until now? Give everyone a little quick scope of what's been happening, what you've been doing, what's Dad been doing, and then we can kind of just run from there.
Right. Okay. So, your father has been activated on the transplant list, the deceased donor list. So he's now waiting on a deceased donor.
Awesome.
So that's really great. So basically, between now and 12 months' time, they could call at any point in time, day or night, and then we would have to go to Sydney for that transplant. I'm currently being tested because his donor, which was going to be his sister, didn't work out right until the very last test, and then it was a no. So that was very disappointing. So that was that. But he's doing well. You know him, always happy, always just cruising along. Same thing. Getting very excited because Super Coach is coming very soon.
Ooh,
so
yes, good old Super Coach, eh?
Good old Super Coach. So that's been pretty exciting for him. For me, work's just been cruising along. Work's work. Same. Nothing overly exciting. Been pretty boring, really. Like, I'd like to say lots of exciting things have happened.
How's work? Have you done any more?
Yep, so I've done trainings for defence, which is always lots of fun. #LoveDefence. So doing trainings for them and working with a lot more clients with victim support. And some of the refuges, so doing a lot more one-on-one client work. Running a program soon as well online called Girl, Your Trauma is Running Your Life and You Don't Even Know It.
Okay.
So that'll be fun. 5 weeks, twice a week. We're just like, boom, we're going to hit that trauma and we're going to just get it healed. So that's pretty exciting.
How's yeah?
So that's about all. Like, I almost have my first draft of my thesis written.
Yep.
So that's a bit exciting. I'm be glad to actually get that finished because, it's a little bit tiring because it's been 3.5 years, so which is a bit painful, but
yeah. Is your internet or I think my internet is real trash because the screens have frozen.
Yeah, so at least your screen has frozen with you smiling. It's so pretty. Yeah, like you look so good. I feel like I should match you with the smile.
I don't know what's going on with you. What is going on tonight?
Oh, it is a full moon. Can we blame that? Is something's in retrograde? Mercury's in retrograde, maybe? I'm not entirely sure, but
who knows?
Yeah.
Who knows it all?
But at least, like I said, you're smiling and seeing your cute smiling face, everyone will be like, "Oh, Ellie's so happy."
So you're going on, like I have frozen on the computer, but you're good to go on Facebook. like you're still doing your thing on Facebook, but
am I frozen on the computer?
On my computer, yes, but I'm watching you through Facebook, and you're good to go.
Oh, okay, hang on a second. You're moving. Oh, now you're going super fast. Oh, there you go. I can see you now. Stop playing with your arm. What's happening? You're going like mega fast. Oh, now.
It's still frozen for me.
Oh, okay. No, well, I can see you. You're back.
Wow, this is so trash.
Anyway. I told you we should have just went through Facebook, and I should have brought you on. StreamYard is not anybody's friend tonight, let me tell you. So I don't even know.
Is shit tonight.
So I don't even know what's going on with it.
But we're back, so we'll go update that later. But yeah, we're back. So that's cool. That's you done. And so me, I've moved from Canberra back to Dubbo, New South Wales, and did the old kids, every guy's dream of opening up their own gym. In my case, it's boxing gym. So as you can see by the logo here, boom, 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 Demos Boxing. So yeah, it's been really weird. So I opened it with the thoughts of, if no one turns up, I can train butt ass naked at 2:30 in the morning for no other reason than I want to. But it's actually turned out to be so crazy, so much more than what I'd originally thought. It's weird that I just didn't think that people would want to come and train with me. But within the first week, we had to make another 2 classes for women, because they're just coming in droves to come and train with me, which I thought was a weird thing, to come and train with me when there's all other kinds of gyms here. But I'm so thankful to all the crew here that actually like turning up at ungodly hours to come and train and pay their money to get and see results. So I'm super blessed for that.
Because it's turned into a women's gym pretty much, hasn't it?
Yeah. So and there's nothing wrong with it. I had these dreams and aspirations of it being like, like this real hard, tough gym, and not that there isn't any like times for that, but it's really just women who are just holding it down here. And like I've had some guys come in, and even for me, like the women just come in and they just straight beast it every single session. So big props to everyone that comes in. But yeah, these females are holding it down out here for real.
Well, #warriors, #warrior women, like that's it.
That's
you know
it.
So we need to do like a W with the warrior women. Yes, we do this because that's the warrior women #. See, yeah, just why are you going to be like that for? Because it's the warrior women.
No gang signs here, Karen. No gang signs.
But you can have still the warrior. It's hard to find good help. Help me out here. What is that?
There you go. That's the W, you fool.
Okay. Warrior women. See, so I'll go this way, because you can have then the WW, so we can have warrior women. Now you have to have the W because it's WW. There you go.
There we go.
That's
You're so tiresome.
Our people have missed us. I tell you.
I'm sure they have.
Absolutely. They're like, oh my God, we have missed the talking of said mess, because it's clearly the highlight of their week to come and listen to us talk.
I'm sure it is. With everything that's going on in their lives, why would they want to come and chill with us, right?
Because we're fun. Clearly, we are like the funnest people ever. So what did you do today? Where were you today? What were you doing today?
So I was at Dubbo Sports World helping out with Indigenous Basketball Association, IBA. That's run by NBA champion and veteran Paddy Mills. And so yeah, I just got invited along to that a couple of weeks ago, and I've played with him when like we was hella tiny, and obviously he went on to do and be great things, NBA champion, and now he's at a spot where he's able to give back. And it just so happened that when I moved out here, Uncle Benny and Tyson Demos, big shout out to everyone that's involved with it. But yeah, those two reached out to me and wanted me to come help out, and I had no real guidelines to really do anything, just go along and help in some way, shape or form. And then I've been there ever since. So it's been really good.
Fantastic. But that's pretty much your motto though, isn't it? Because like Demos Boxing does lots of things to help out with community and giving back, and because that's kind of like what you do.
Yeah, pretty much. And it's what Paddy does as well. Like it's all the time I've known him, whether it, like whatever it is, he's always about giving back to the Indigenous community and Torres Strait Islander community, but also just being him. Like that's just him through and through. So it's cool that I got to help out in some way, shape, or form, and be a part of that, and step away from the business to go and do something that was my first love and my first joy, which was basketball.
Right. Okay. And now boxing is your second love, or your latest love, or
it's different. I've always the two have always been intertwined with each other. But yeah, boxing I found is just different.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, same but different.
Same but different. Fantastic. Yeah. Talk about some of the, because your gym is pretty much 95% female warriors, women.
Yep.
Hashtag. So talk about some of the commonalities that you see with the women who come along, or why do you think they come to Demos as opposed to going to all of the other gyms out there? What's some of the common things that you see from the women who end up coming there?
That's a really good question, and it's something that changes like all the time, because one day it could be like they just want to, like one group of females could have it, they just want to find a safe place to train with absolutely no egos. Like ego stops. Like you leave it at the house. Like it doesn't come to the gym at all. Like if you can go out there and you're a world star athlete, awesome, have at it. Like go as hard as you can go. But if you're just getting into moving, haven't exercised for like forever, first time exercising, that's awesome too. So it's all about finding an entry point for you. Finding your entry point, whether that's you're heading off to the Olympics, whether you're like 50, 60 amateur fights in, or you're just wanting to move, there's always there's a level for you. So I think that's one thing. And again, like I said, no egos. So I think that's one thing that really draws the women in here. But also they just want to come and train at somewhere different.
And I also think that knowing you and what you've been able to build, there is very much that connection of community, that whole, it's a family, and you're building basically a tribe of we talk about warriors, hashtag warrior women. It's that family connection that, sometimes you might not come from the greatest family, or you might not have really huge family connections, but you get your family there who will support you and help you. And
and so that's also one of the big things as well. So when I went to like two places that really set that community bar high, and everyone pushing everyone to reach that next level, no matter what it is, was Tiger Muay Thai over in Thailand. I met and shook hands with UFC champion Peter Yan, and he was the nicest guy for a world champion that could snatch the breath and life from you. He was just so humble And then on the other end of the extreme scale was people who haven't moved for ages. It was me, who was over like 130 kilos or around about that, and who was like, it's my last shot, like I need to go and do it. So it was those two extremes, and there was no ego. Everyone was just wanting to get better. And then when I came back to Australia, obviously to Canberra to be with you guys for during COVID, it was Dark Carnival, like, and they're exactly the same. It's black belts mixing it in with white belts. It's like Mitch, who's gone and like done great things, Australian champ, and there's just, again, like, these guys could snatch the life clean out of you, but there's just absolutely no egos, and it's always about building the next block. Like, okay, cool, you have this foundation, let's work on the next one. Once we get to that level, we can refine it, we can make it perfect, and then we can go on to that next block, which is both of those are like world-class facilities purely just because of the culture and team connection that they built. And shout out to Dark Carnival, actually, because they just had a fight, and Farouk got cleaned up, and so did everyone else on the card. So big shout out to those guys.
Yeah. And it's great because you have people like that who are just really like at the top of their game, but really humble as well in being able to support and share. I mean, I love Mitch because he's just someone who will always be there for you. You know, he's just
100%.
Just a really nice guy, and you can be somebody who's, you know, really good at what you do and a champion and not be a nice person. And I think that the fact that, you know, he's really successful and just really nice, and I think that that's a testament to them. But then also the culture that they've cultivated, and then how you're emulating that there in Dubbo to have demos be exactly the same as that culture. And I think that's what people are buying into is, you know, the culture that you set, that it's a safe place, that there's no egos, that there's no mirrors, it's not all everybody looking at everybody going, oh my God, you know, how is my flex looking today, and you know, am I getting pump on and all that sort of stuff. It's like, it's none of that.
Yes, and there's obviously, like, there's places for that, but like, there's just with those two, like, they're just different, and you're like, that culture that they bring to the table, and then trying to emulate that while putting my own little spin on it. They're just different, and I love it.
Oh, okay. Do you know Kerry Andrews?
Kerry Andrews.
Why is Kerry Andrews angry? She put an angry face. Kerry Andrews, why are you angry? I don't understand. Kerry?
I don't know Kerry Andrews.
I don't know Kerry Andrews either, but Kerry did an angry face. Kerry, what's going on with that? I don't know who Kerry Andrews is.
I don't know Kerry Andrews either. I don't think I do. Maybe I do. Maybe I don't.
We don't understand why Kerry's angry, but that's okay. We're not angry, so that'll be fine. We have nothing but love here, and so so that's fine. So that's really awesome. So. Oh, she said, no, I'm not. It's a mistake. Oh, that's okay. We were thinking, Kerry, what did we say?
What's going on, Kerry?
Kerry?
Well, no, big shout out to Kerry. Kind of put you on blast.
Big shout out to Kerry, because, oh my God.
big props to you, Kerry. Our fault.
We were thinking, I was going back through it. Was there something that Kerry said that Kerry don't like us and stuff? That's okay. Love you, Kerry. Really appreciate you. Oh my God, that's amazing. I need a drink of water now just to calm down, because, you know, I was stressed there for a minute thinking. Oh, that's funny. So what have you got? What have you got planned for the next week?
So I have obviously my clients, my regulars. I have a netball team, but I'm also doing like a quick package 2-week deal to just to get people moving. And obviously it's the physical side. They come in here, they get their hour in, but excuse me, it's also focusing on the mindset as well. So I know personally that if my mind's not right and not in it, then I can't perform even half as well. So I need to be kind of just locked in. And so I'm going through like coaching with 2 clients. So big shout out to them. I won't drop names just in case they don't want it name dropped, but I just want to say a big shout out to them because it's hard work taking that first step. And so that's really my week. And it's those. I've got the netball team, which I'm really super excited about. And yeah, just my normal clients and normal working week, which is not really normal because it always changes and everything's different, which is brilliant because as much as I love routine, I hate routine at the same time.
So I'm curious to know how because you have to be there and switched on every single session that you have. So what is your routine? How do you get yourself switched on and ready? Because you need, like I said, you need to be there for everybody else. What is your routine? How do you do that? Do you just be like, how?
So I had 2 great teachers. Obviously you were one, but I really, really watched it. Every single time Dad went to basketball, literally like in my head, it was like he would walk in, it wouldn't even be at the basketball stadium yet. How he was when he was leaving for basketball was a little bit different to how he was when he was just chilling, watching TV in his jocks. And then on the drive there, he was a little bit more different. He was switched on a bit more. He'd still have like the radio, like and tunes blasting, but his demeanor was starting to change a little bit. When he pulled up to the stadium, like he was probably at around about 90% of the coach. And then literally soon as he got out and then he walked into basketball, it was like he walked in and he just magically transformed. So I seen that and was like, wow, like he, as much as he was my dad, he wasn't my dad. He was coach now. And like I would, and I still do, like go and run a mark and active full and stuff, but he was just so switched on and so like Batman when he put on, and he likes to refer to himself as Batman, but yeah, like he would be Batman when it was time to be Batman. When it was time to chill and pull back and then be Bruce Wayne, he could do that. So I really just took that, like when it's time to switch on, I picture like the old Superman cartoons where he goes into the phone booth and he puts that Superman suit on and then he just takes off. That's exactly what I do. I go and get my coffee. It's normally around about 10 minutes before class. Have my double espresso, slap myself on the chest a couple of times. All right, champ, let's go. It's time to go to work. And then literally like I'm locked in. I'm in my zone. And whether that's like a strength day, whether it's more cardio, whether it's that mix, it's really just coming in and at the drop of a hat, switching on. So hope it answers the question. It gives the viewers a little insight to that, but it's really hard to explain how that process happens. But yeah, if you picture like when Superman and goes to turn into Superman to save people's lives, that's the best thing that I can kind of get that. And Melissa, big shout out to you who says that. Love that analogy. And like I'm sure there's better ways out there to explain it, but that's easiest for me because that's what I feel like. I feel like I turn into Superman.
Yeah. And I suppose that's a really good point as well, because for a lot of people, making the decision to do some kind of fitness thing is a thing, but actually getting into the gym, so I can make a decision, right, that's it. Because we went for a walk today, big shout out to us, UPA. And so we went for a walk and it was like 30 minutes or something, but at least we did something. And so the idea of going, I'm going to do a fitness thing, like I've decided that's it, my pants don't fit, I'm going to do something. The decision to go, yep, I'm going to do something, and then actually getting into the gym is always the biggest challenge.
Yeah.
So how do what suggestions do you have? Because most people know that, you're a really nice guy and demos, boxing and fitness is a great place to come and all that sort of stuff. What suggestions do you have for people who might be looking at this going, I'm really scared to go in there because I'm really big and I'm uncoordinated and I can't, like, I trip over my own feet. And so, like, if I want to get in there, do you have any suggestions for people to get them through? Because once they get through the door and meet you, it's all over. They're like, oh, this is okay, I'm fine.
Yeah.
But it can be really scary to get there. So what sort of suggestions do you have that you can tell people to actually, like, get them there?
Really good question. So as you just stated, like, once you get here, like, I got you. Once you're in the door, then, and like I said, I got you. But it's really just taking that first step of, like, okay, I know I need to. Awesome. If you're bare ass naked sitting at home on the couch, just go and put shoes and socks on. And it's like, okay, cool. Let's go and put some shorts on. Okay, I'm starting to feel myself a little bit. Cool. Go and put a shirt on. Go and put a jumper, whatever it is. And then, awesome. Like, it's just building on things. Like, once you get to that, and that whole process may take you like a month. If you're at that level, like, if you have some things going on mentally and personally where you're just like, I can't do it. Okay, cool. Go and put shoes on. Walk up and down the hallway a couple of times. Like, 10% of something is better than 100% of nothing. So if you're walking butt ass naked up and down the hallway 3-4 times, awesome. At least you're moving. And it's like, next time, cool. All right, maybe I'll watch something that gets me a little amped up. Like, some bodybuilders, they love to go and watch Arnold and Ronnie Coleman and all these players. And you look at basketball players, they watch Kobe Bryant, Michael Jordan. Boxers, they watch Roy Jones, Floyd, all these people. So, and they get them hyped and into that mood, like, man, like, I can do that. So if that helps you, awesome. And I guess it's always, like, I guess it's coming back to what works for you within saying that motivational stuff.
Yeah.
But motivation is always fleeting. So as much as motivation, like, if we look at motivation, it's kind of like NOS for a car. Like, once you hit that NOS button, you may go real hard for that first 10, 20 seconds. But yet, if we switch it, the fuel for the car is discipline. It takes discipline to actually go to the gym. And then that discipline, after a while, starts to become a habit. And then we can keep building on that. So when it's time to be like, man, I don't feel like the gym today, it's like, I'm still going to rock up. And even if it's like we get there and you do some things and then you still don't feel it, awesome. At least you went there, you gave it what you had for that day. You may have some sleep problems, whatever it is, like, but at least you went there, you got it, and then you went and did whatever.
Is that question? Yeah, no, absolutely. That's really great. Is that why you have your sessions where you have to book in so that people get used to having their fitness scheduled in as well? Because you have to book in for your times to be able to come to class and stuff like that. Is part of that because you want people to have their fitness scheduled in so it becomes a regular thing?
Yeah, 100%. So if you book in and then it's like, and you know what's coming, you can be like, okay, I know it's coming. I need to work some few things around so that way it's like I can get there. I can go and train. So, and also another reason is that it caps the class. So because it's only me here at the moment, like, in the future I will be looking to get people in, but for right now I want to be able to get a hold of things. So the limit is 15. So the fact that I can, if someone's like lacking a little bit or they're just not getting it properly, I can spend a little bit more time with that sole individual whilst keeping keeping the class in check and able to keep and hold that space.
Right, okay. Because I would also think that for people who are starting out, having a really small class is great because they're getting more of your attention, but there's also not, 25, 30 people in the class where you get lost and, because I know for me, I'm a bigger size, so I wouldn't go to a big class because if there's all these little, super skinny fit people, I'm just going to be like, oh, this is just like, I don't really feel like I belong or fit here. And so, classes that are smaller, I would think would be better because then people can be like, oh, well, like he's not going to just leave me over in a corner. I'm going to like get some.
Yeah, and
help.
and again, coming like if and some people do think like that, like, oh man, I'm like a bigger person, and what if this person judged me? What if the trainer's horrible? What if? But like obviously with the smaller classes, it creates that bond because everyone's going through it. Like one of the reasons that Tiger Muay Thai and like I guess like any gyms, like they create that strong cultural impact is because no matter what level that you're at, everyone within that level, they're all going through the same hurt locker as you. They just look different. Like my hurt locker would look completely different to the hurt locker of Floyd Mayweather. Like and vice versa. Like it's no one's hurt locker is the same, but coming in together in any kind of capacity, especially in small teams, really creates that bond together, and then that's how you create that family, and that's how you create that culture, which like I'm trying to do out here for my home and community.
That's awesome. I'm just so happy for you. Because I'm not a proud mum at all. So like, clearly.
Yeah. It's a little bit of proud mum moment.
Little bit. Just a little bit. Just a little. But it's I've lost the lid. Never mind. But I guess that part of the reason that I'm proud is because knowing where you come from, but also knowing that you being the example for other people who have gone through depression and anxiety and gone through challenges in their life and can come through that to then fulfill their life and do what makes them happy. And I think I'm not sure if a lot of people know your story and stuff, and when you're comfortable to share that at some point, people will be like, wow, that's amazing that and most of the people who come along, I would assume, know a bit about your story. I'm not sure if they know like your story, but they know some of your story about you being overweight and all that sort of stuff. And so it's really about you being the example for other people to go, wow, so like if he can, so can I, as opposed to that I can never do that because like it's too hard or it's out of reach or whatever, and then they could be like, well, hang on, like he did, so maybe I can as well.
Yeah, and that's an awesome thing. Like some people know a little bit about the story of me, but not many people know like the full story, and we're already half an hour in, so we'll save that for a later episode. But quick little overview was that I was med discharged in 2017, and then from there, like because that was my life for 5 years, and like I gave my life to the army, and then being not fit. I've got a bug here. Not fit for that life that I chose and yearned for, and it was like, okay, we'll see you later. Here's your skills that you've got. Best of luck, have at it. But then like I went and try and like do different things, but I was really searching for me because I was like institutionalized. So then that led me down the road of depression and like really bad depression, to the point where like I was self-medicating. I'd wake up at like 9 o'clock. My partner at the time, she would go to work. I'd have toast, self-medicate again, and I'd go back until like 5 or 6 o'clock until when she got home, spend that hour awake, and then I'd be back at like pop a few more pills and then go back to sleep. So it was that really bad place. And then anxiety was just as bad. Like, couldn't be out in public for too long. If I was sitting somewhere, I had to sit at the back at a restaurant. I had to watch for like if anyone looking like suspect, or what else could happen. What if this guy happens and to do something? What if? And then that spiral of just like going out of control. And the best way that I can describe it is that it's like drowning. And then when you're drowning and you're in a pool and then you can't breathe, you come up for that one big breath, but just as you're taking a big breath, you get pulled back down again. And then each time you get pulled back down, that light of like the sun and obviously like the light, that gets a little bit more dimmer, so that resurface to the top for a breath is just getting like longer and longer in between. That break is just longer and longer. So, and then like some things happened, and some good things, some bad things happened. And then I actually had made the decision, and it was the hardest decision, to be like I'm done. I left everything. Like, there wasn't one thing that I took with me other than the clothes that I had on my back, and then left and went to Thailand to try and, I don't know, I guess just search for something that I had no idea what I needed. I just knew that what I had at the time, as awesome as it was, just wasn't what I needed to then grow from that and be where I am now.
And so that's when you went to Tiger Muay Thai in Thailand?
Yeah, that is correct. And that was when I was like, oh my God, like, this was it. This was that sense of community. This was that, okay, you had, like I said before, the likes of UFC champions come there, like Mark Hunt, Peter Yan, the list goes on. Like, it's top tier of like high caliber mixed martial arts fighters throughout the globe. And so first off, I was just blessed to be able to get the opportunity to go out there and just surround myself and swim in that energy of always wanting to push and be better. And then after like the first week, I went over there. How long was I over there? Hang on a sec.
Bless you. Really? Bless you.
Thank you. Yeah, so the first time I was over there, I think it was it 2 months? 3 months?
Yeah, it was something like that. 2 or 3.
Yeah, and then I came back, and then for family reasons, and then that's when I left my whole life behind, like just said I couldn't go back and didn't. And it was pretty shitty how I did it. Like, I'll be brutally honest, it was shitty how it happened from my end. But I knew that for me and my mental and physical well-being, I needed to do it. Otherwise I wouldn't be here right now. So I did it. And then a week later, I went back to Tiger Muay Thai again, and then was in that same energy of just trying to get better not for like years down the track. It was literally just be better for tomorrow. And then it was like, awesome, that's cool. Like, be better for tomorrow, but today.
Mm-hmm.
If that makes any sense, because it kind of makes sense for me, but I can see it in my head, but I don't know if it articulates across well. But like, do everything that you can today for tomorrow, so that when tomorrow comes, you're a step ahead of the game. And then you just continue to build on that, and then on that, and then next minute, like I'm here, like living a dream pretty much. I'm living a dream.
And I guess that's really great, again, because you help people to get better today for tomorrow, because you know what it's like to feel like you're drowning today. And so, you know, that I think that in itself is what makes demos so special, is that you literally help throw life jackets to people when they come in, because you know what it was like to not have a life jacket yourself. And so it's hard. Go.
There you go.
And I was just going to say, it's hard to do that.
Hard?
You
What's
haven't had
hard?
it. Huh? Hello?
Yeah, I can't hear you. But yeah, like you're right. Like it's hard that, and it's also hard for like people who are going through it, because like they understand something's wrong. Like I understand like that, and like I'm about to swear, but like I knew that what's going on in my head was pretty fucked up, but I knew it also didn't make sense, but I just didn't know how to work through it. Like medication helps, like it didn't. I guess it did, but I'm now at a space where I can give what I've learned back to others, and if it works, awesome. Like I will give every single tips and trick that I know, and I will put people in contact with people who I think that may work. But if it doesn't work, that's awesome too, because that way we can go and, like, we've ticked that off, like, okay, cool, that doesn't work. Let's go and try something different. Like, there are millions of things that could help you, but if they don't, awesome. That's a million things that we've ticked off the list, that if it's just like, if it's this much that helped, like, think of a million times that we do this. Like, it's, even that will just continue to help and continue to grow and continue to build.
That's right, which is awesome, because that's what we want, to get to that space where, you know, it's living happy days every day.
100%.
So what do you do on the days, because I'm sure you still have days where, like, it's a bit of a struggle. What do you do on those days, and how do you get through the day?
When I do find myself in those times, it's just bringing me back to this, like, I'm here, like, and like hang on, let me just repause and rethink. Can you say the question again? Can you remember the question?
How do you get through bad days? Do you still have bad days?
Bad days look different to those bad days.
About that. So, how do you mean? Share that.
So though, like, okay, so in my deepest, darkest depression, bad days were, I would hate the fact that I woke up. Like, I would wake up and I would just dread that, like, shit, I'm still here. Like, but let's go and have some Vegemite on toast, and then we'll just clock up all hours of the day on Rainbow Six Siege on PS4. And then it was like, okay, not doing that, going back to sleep. And that was my bad days. I was literally bed and couch ridden and was popping pills just to not even get rid of the pain, just to sleep, so I didn't have to feel whatever I was feeling. Like, it'd be heavy, it would be like all this other kind of stuff. Whereas my bad days now, they don't seem as bad, because of the fact that I'm living outside of myself with Demos Boxing Gym, giving back to others. So, like, I don't know what my love language is, but I think like it's active service because I love giving back to people. Like if I was down to my last dollar, I'd split the bill with you. So I think that's along the lines of me, and so that doesn't really make me have bad days. Whereas coming from the army, where it was always about others before yourself, the biggest thing and fear that if you were to ask like everyone that was in there, they'd say that it would be the biggest fear is that I would do something wrong that would get someone else killed or hurt. And so it was always living outside of yourself first. So that's what really gets me through my bad days. And like I'm stacking my bad days up now to the bad days I had before. And like they're not really that bad anymore. Like I may be tired and not feeling it, but like I said at the very, very start, when it's time to be Superman, it's time to be Superman. Superman can't take days off when he's out there saving and changing lives. So I can't do the same thing.
Yeah. Oh, and we love Nat. Amazing. You have come such a long way and she'll be very proud of you.
Thanks, Nat.
We love Nat. It's amazing. We love Kerry. We love Melissa.
Everyone.
We love everybody. There's so much love. There's so much love happening everywhere. It's just, it is amazing. It is amazing, amazing, amazing. Oh, that is so fantastic. I mean, we're 45 minutes in. I'm not quite sure how long we were.
We'll go for an hour because we normally go for about an hour.
Okay, no, that's fine.
Yeah, we'll just talk. We'll just because we can do that pretty well. So we'll just talk, and then when it's time for me to or us to wrap it up, or you got a bag or whatever, then we'll just bounce from there.
It's funny. I was running training, and I was talking to this this woman was talking about how her mother-in-law would do things for her. That was her thing, and she's like, you know, I don't want her to do stuff. I just want her to, you know, to sit and have a conversation. And I said to her, it's so funny. We were having, during the break, we were having a conversation. And I said, have you heard about the love languages? And she was like, yeah, I have heard of that. I said, my love language is time. Like I love to spend time with, like if you give me your time, that for me is just like the most precious thing. And I said, my husband, his love language is acts of service. And I kid you not, the timing, he brought over some cake for me and handed it to me and then went and got a cup of coffee and brought him. And I just said to her, right there, and she was like, oh my God, that's what it looks like. I was like, that's what it looks like. Literally, he brings me stuff and feeds me. And I mean, I do stuff for him as well, but it was just so funny. It's like, that's his love language. He does things for me. And she was like, wow, so that's her love language. Yeah, that's it. So if she's doing stuff for you, it's because that's what's important to her. And so it was just incredibly funny that like right on cue, he bought me a little cake. I was like, oh, thank you. He's like, that's cool. Yeah, that was cute. Yeah, so I'm all about time. Like you just, I like spending time. Like this is just filling my cup up now because, like I love time. I love time.
Yeah.
So,
and I guess like that, like even though I haven't like looked into how much like or what my love language is, whatever, but acts of service, just like it gives me more pleasure than like going and be the big dog or whatever. Like if we're going back to basketball, I was always way more happy with being the guy who assisted in getting the basket than actually getting the basket. For me, that was more of a challenge than just like going and scoring. But then again, like same thing, like time, and I guess it's with time, like meaningful time as well. And I'll be like, it looks different for everyone. Like today at IBA, I had the time to just chill out with some mates who hadn't, like, obviously, like, we've seen each other for IBA, but previous to IBA, it was maybe like, a good couple of years.
Yeah.
And so it's getting that quality time for where we picked up again, filling that cup enough to that if we were to go another 3 years of not seeing each other, then we would pick up right where we left off. So it's that meaningful time, I guess, if that makes sense. I think it makes sense. Makes sense to me anyways.
Absolutely. It makes sense to me. So I know what you mean.
Excellent.
Yeah. So also we have lots more love hearts. So love from Luke and Sal. Love from Sarah. Thank you. Elizabeth, Nadine, which is great.
If anyone has any questions too, like by all means, chuck them in the comments.
Chuck them in.
I got us here on what's this one, StreamYard, but I've also got my phone here as well, so I'm chopping and changing between the two. So if you want to ask questions,
you didn't get back onto Insta?
No, it was too much of a headache, and I was about to smash his computer because it wasn't working. So
nobody's happy.
Different day.
Yeah,
different day.
That's right. It's like that was nobody's happy place. We're not going back there because it was working, and then next minute it's not. So it's like
it was, and then it wasn't, and then I closed that, and then the headphones weren't working, and like desks were about to get thrown and computers smashed. So I was like, you know what? Let's just break.
Yes.
Nat has a lot of questions she asks tomorrow. What are you in tomorrow, Nat? You on in the morning or are you in the afternoon? Anyway, she'll get back to me. So what are some questions that you want to ask, mate?
I guess in terms of she's in the afternoon.
Awesome.
I guess in terms of, you talked earlier on about like you switch on and stuff like that. I guess for me, I'm really interested in the culture that you have built so that people can feel comfortable going there, because there's so many other places that people can go, and no shade or shame to them, that works for them. I guess I'm wanting to know, because when you start an exercise routine, it generally doesn't, like, you just make the decision one day and then boom, like, it's locked in my diary now for the next year and I'm just going to show up every day and it's just going to be a thing. That's generally not how it goes, though, is it?
No, most definitely not.
So can you talk through some of the things that people might need to think about in terms of like getting into that routine, or if they come for a while and then they go, I'll go tomorrow, or I'll go then the next, and then before they know it, they haven't been for like a month, and then it's like, I feel really ashamed because I've got to go back and I haven't been and stuff. Like, can you talk through that sort of stuff?
Yeah, definitely. And so I've been that guy. Like, I've gone to and changed so many gyms because of the fact that I was killing it. Like, I was just in my zone. I was doing my thing, and then it was literally like, man, I'm feeling really sore or I'm really tired, so I'll just miss. It was like Thursday, so I'll just miss Thursday, Friday, and then I'll get back at it Monday. And then come Sunday, it was like, man, like, I had a big weekend. Let's just rest and recoup Monday as well. And then it was, before you know it, it's that snowball effect of like everything's built up, and people, like, life nowadays is just especially now with COVID stuff, it's super crazy.
Yeah.
Like, so it comes back to what we said before about the motivation is always fleeting, and like structure and discipline is the gas for your car, or like petrol, whatever you want to use. That's really the best analogy. Like, it's okay, cool, you've missed it. Awesome. Like, what can I do today that's going to help tomorrow? And there's like, if you come in like and like the biggest thing I said before, like there's no egos here, because majority of the time, like where you're at, I've been super fit, running half marathons just for the fun of it, almost on like a nightly basis. And then I've also been at the other extreme where like I was ready to just like tap out. So everything in between that, I'm sure like all my clients are there at some point, like injuries, been there, depression, been there, anxiety, been there, like an athlete, been there, a slob, been there. Like, it's, if you're worried about the ego side, like ego stops at the door, my God. Just come in, like from there, I've got you. If it's, you know, oh man, I'm really slack. Okay, cool. If you don't want to come in, what can we do? What are the policies and procedures we can put in place where you can do it at home? Like, I'm learning a new system at the moment where we're able to, if the world goes back into lockdown, start a Zoom community where we can do things that way. If some people prefer that, awesome. Like, let's work with you to get you movement. If it's with me, I love it. I will split the bill with you. If it's not with me, that's killer too. Like, the biggest thing is about you moving. It's not about me. Like, if the gym closed, like heaven forbid, if I had absolutely no clients, that's cool. That means I can train naked any time of the day. But it's about people moving. It's like this business isn't about me. It's about getting people to move. And if you're anywhere in the spectrum, like, let me know. Like, and that's the biggest thing as well that I've found for me, that at that time I didn't communicate with any of my coaches. I just bounced. I was ashamed, like, man, I missed a month off training, whatever. So then going back and having it's a tough conversation when it's like you have to be accountable for you. It's like, hey coach, like now I'm at a better space where I can do that and be like, hey coach, like I have a coach, Sean Kober over in Tiger Muay Thai. Dude has changed and saved my life. So I still have my days. I'm like, hey man, like this fortnight been pretty slack. And so he's like, okay, cool. What can, like, again, he asked me the same questions. What are the policies and procedures we can put in place so that this next fortnight isn't the same fortnight that we had? And it's like, okay, what can I take control of? Very little, but I can control my water intake. I can control what I eat. I can control what time I go to bed. That's pretty much it. Like, everything else is always subject to change. But it's what I can control it. Whatever I can't, I can't. And then it's still putting those policies and procedures into place that have that contingency plan if something goes awry.
And I would think that most coaches, if you haven't been there for a month, most of them would be like, so glad to see you back, my guy. I'm so happy.
Yeah.
Oh my God, you're the biggest slob ever in the world because you haven't come back. Yeah. You're an embarrassment to our people. What are you doing? Might be like, yay, you're back. Forget that. Let's go.
Yeah.
Like, let's get on and make sure that doesn't happen. What do you need or whatever?
Yeah.
But most of them wouldn't be like, oh, really? So you come back?
Yeah, and like, 100%. Like, and that's something that I learned along the way too when I was doing that. Like, it was like, man, like this coach is going to get mad at me. Like, I highly respect this person and I don't want to let them down. So I was all up here instead of just turning up and like and owning the fact that I may just need a rest week. Like I may just, if you're going balls to the wall hard for your trainer, like you're going to, and like you've been redlining it, you're going to need those times where just to rest and recoup. And I don't think a lot of people understand that. And especially like with how it's a lot of the, like training, and obviously like with Instagram and Facebook, where it's like you need to train this many times a day and whatever. And like if you're in a job that like your life is on the line, others' lives on the line, like I understand, like have at it. Like you need to be at the top of the game, and you can't train all the time. But those people have like, okay, I'm taking this week off, but within this week, this is what I'm doing. This is what I'm going to do so that I'm not up here, I'm here, but I can maintain it at this level so that my energy bar refills so that I can bump it up to another level. I don't think many people, because and it's just been maybe my experience, but not many people understand and get that like rest is okay. Like if you redline your car in third gear for 100 Ks, like it's gonna ruin the car. Like I'm not a car guy at all. I'm lucky to change the oil. I've never actually changed the oil. I know nothing about them. But if you run the red for your car the whole time, it's gonna damage your car. So same thing to your body.
Dylan said, "What's happening?" Hey, Dylan. Not much is happening here.
What's up, Dill? Big shout out to him. He just you had a fight, my guy, and I need to know the results. So either put them up here or shoot me that message, and then because I want to know.
Oh well, that's
so yeah, hopefully that. Yeah, and hopefully that wasn't too much of a ramble, and people stayed with me through that. But yeah, like if you're worried about that, chances are at some point or another your coach has been in that same position. So just say, hey, look, haven't been feeling well, haven't been feeling it, and then the coach can be like, okay, you haven't been feeling it, and if they ask why, and you want to talk, awesome. If you don't, that's awesome too. Like, have at it. If not, then don't.
Yeah. And it's funny because we'll wrap it up very shortly, but it's funny because exercise is one of those things that you generally don't feel like doing until you do it. And then while you're doing it, you're thinking, why the hell am I doing this? But then once you've done it, you go, oh my God, I feel so amazing. That. I want to keep doing it again, until you then go, oh, I don't really feel like doing it. I don't think there is very few people on the planet who go, oh, I'm going to work out today. I love my life. This is amazing. Yay and stuff. Like there's just, there's a very small portion of people who are like that. Most people are like, oh, okay, I'm going to the gym. I've got to go. And then once you're there, it's like, oh, feeling amazing.
Yeah.
And then you just kind of keep doing it. So.
Yeah, like it's definitely like the culture and the people that you hang around as well. Like if you're hanging around people who are like, who are like that the whole time, like, no, I'm not feeling the gym, then you're gonna, over time, not gonna start feeling the gym.
That's right.
Like, but if you're having one of those days where you're like, man, I'm just not feeling it, and then you can get someone who's like, nah, champ, have some pre-workout. Let's effing get this. Let's go. And then you're like, okay, he's about it. All right, cool. And then if you turn up and you're just like, nah, I'm not feeling it. I'm just not. Like, that's cool. At least you went there with your team and then got it, and then you can reassess after that.
Yeah. Well, that's great. Fantastic. So we want to leave people with something to focus on for this week. So one, whether it's a word, whether it's a thought process for this week, something that people can put into place or focus on to help them to get through this week. what would it be?
What can you do today that's going to help tomorrow?
I love that. What can you do today that's going to help you tomorrow?
Yeah, and I wrote that down. I have it written everywhere because I have a memory of goldfish. So I'm like, oh, I'll write that down, but I've already written it like 30, 40 times. But yeah, it's like, let's take me, for example. Like, I was super hydrated, super dehydrated on Friday because I had Saturday, so two workouts, and then I had the worst headache. Took half a painkiller. It stopped my headache. I was like, man, I'm feeling really good. I'm like no headache. But then as soon as that started to wear off, I got that headache back again. So it was like, and then today I'm feeling the effects of it. But it's not just yesterday. It's because I didn't hydrate the day before that. So because everything stacks on top of each other, like I'm not doing what I need to do today for tomorrow, because tomorrow starts at the end of today. So if you're super hungry and you go to bed, then like the chances are you're not going to be working at like full capacity if you've got to get up and train in the morning. Or if you're super tired and lethargic, you've been super stressed and your sleep's all out of whack, like all these things add and build up over time. So what can you do and what can you control today that is going to give you the best outcome for tomorrow?
I love it. Love it. Love it. Fantastic. Well, I think that's been like a really great session because like people hopefully got some really good stuff out of it.
Hope so.
I think you shared some really, really fantastic stuff. We're bringing Talking Mess back, so we'll be doing that. We're going to do it every Sunday because we did do it on a Tuesday. Are we going to keep it on a Sunday? Or did you want? Because Tuesday's really crazy for you, I know.
Tuesdays and Thursdays is probably not good because it's ladies' night and like they bring it. They bring the heat. So if I'm not Superman and so let's look to go Sunday because I think IBA finishes in a couple of weeks, so that way we can continue and we can just roll this and we can chop and change with the timings for Sunday. We can maybe do like a brunch thing or like whatever. But we'll also so it's going to YouTube, yeah.
So it's going to YouTube, it's going to Demos Boxing, it's gone to my page, it's gone to Talking Mess page, as well as TLMC page. Yeah,
cool. So then we'll also look to put this up on Spotify, so that way if you do miss it, then obviously you can go back and check it on YouTube. But if you're driving or you want to listen to us while you work, which would be hella strange. Why you gonna listen to us? But anyways, that's always an option as well, where you can just so that we can cross platforms and obviously just talk mess with anyone and everyone. So if there's anyone that you'd like to hear on this in the future, obviously we'll try and get it out there. But we'll just be doing us for the time being and maybe get some local legends in and go from there.
Fantastic. Oh, Miss Rachel, hello. How are you? Love it. Have a great week, Miss Melissa.
You too.
Yes. Thank you.
Michelle, thanks, lovelies. Thank you.
Oh, so magical. No, that was good. Well, I think that we'll get it set up so that it's on Spotify, because then we can just take this and drop it straight across as a podcast. It would be cool if we could do it so that it's recording to the podcast straight away, but that's probably
I don't know if we can. Yeah, I don't think that's way above our pay grade.
Yeah, that's right. It's just kind of like, I'm sure you can, because these things are supposed to be able to do that kind of stuff. But again, like tricky stuff. We're still kind of learning as we go. So, bless you.
Thank you. Cool.
Okay,
so what would you want to leave people with for this coming week?
Well, I think that's fantastic. I think we should have a thing for the week. Like I'm thinking about that myself. What can I do today that's going to help me tomorrow? Like I want to. I don't want to put something else in to people's minds because I really like that.
Cool. Awesome. Well, let's go. We'll go one for one. So next week
You can
go. You can go.
What can I do? What can I do today that's going to help me tomorrow? Well, there's a whole lot of things because I have a whole lot of books, that I can start to read and stuff. And so it's like, well, I can read something today, which is then going to help me to be able to read tomorrow. So, I really like that. So we'll go one for one because then we can also check in it next week to go. So how was that? So how was that for us?
Definitely. If it worked, awesome. If it doesn't, that's awesome too.
That's right. And because I think the reflection is going to be great that we can go, actually, what I found out about that thing that we talked about all week was this, or, the thing we talked about that didn't even work for me at all. So, and I think it'll be great because for everybody who's on here seeing this, we want you to keep that at the forefront for this week. So what can I do today that'll help tomorrow so that when we do jump on next week, you can come back on and tell us how it went for you. So,
big facts. Yeah, let's do that. Also, if like messages that, like if even halfway through the week or whenever, this is what I'm doing, it's got work, testimonies, send it in.
That's exactly right. And it's great because a lot of your clients are on here, so you can be asking them in the sessions and stuff, so remember that, and how did that go, and what did you find out and stuff, and so you can keep that. So I love that. That's fantastic. So
sweet. Cool.
Fun. Okay, yay! Shh. Workout warriors. Oh, look at my goes between my eyes like I look really freaky. Okay, maybe not. There's weird little warriors. Right. We are like workout women warriors. Workout warriors. What are you doing? What is that?
That's a W2. You can go there. Workout warriors. Anyways, we'll work on that.
We'll work it out. All right. Thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in. Love you all. So have a fantastic week. We shall catch you next week.
Indeed.